The courtroom eruption, it wasn't just a surprise. It was seismic. When Brad Pitt walked into the federal courtroom on day 18 of the Diddy trial, even the judge reportedly paused mid-sentence. Nobody expected Hollywood royalty to take the stand, let alone with that level of calm intensity. But what came next? No one was ready. He didn't just speak, he detonated. Pitt alleged that Diddy operated through private agreements with elite figures in media, music, and film. Arrangements built to protect reputations while burying wrongdoing. He described a system, not just a man. That's bigger than a scandal. That's a network. When courts go quiet, it means something loud just happened. In moments like this, ask yourself, who stands to lose the most if this all comes out? How Brad got involved? Most people watching the trial had the same question. Why is Brad Pitt even here? It turns out Pitt's 2016 investment in a luxury streaming startup crossed paths with Diddy's media ventures. On paper, just business. But buried in that same funding network were shell companies now under federal investigation for laundering and trafficking ties. The Hollywood handshake sometimes hides a loaded contract. Emails obtained by prosecutors showed Pitt's name linked to 3 co-sponsorship deals with Diddy-affiliated entities, including one flagged for offshore irregularities. Though Pitt claims he was kept in the dark, the evidence drew a straight line. When the paper trail starts glowing, even bystanders get burned. The secret meeting at Soho House. What happens when billionaires meet in private and no phones are allowed? According to Brad Pitt, a 2017 gathering at LA's Soho House, hosted by an unnamed music executive, was where the veil began to lift. Pitt described the event as tense, coded, and deeply unsettling. Diddy was there. So were 2 record label CEOs and a Hollywood fixer now under scrutiny. Silence was the currency that night. Pitt said the conversations revolved around NDAs, career rehabilitation, and keeping people quiet. He testified that it felt more like insurance fraud mixed with blackmail than a networking event. When meetings feel rehearsed, someone's hiding a script. Harvey Weinstein's ghost. Then came a name no one expected Brad Pitt to utter: Harvey Weinstein. In a chilling moment, Pitt testified that Diddy's behavior reminded him of Weinstein's: strategic intimidation, weaponized parties, and a web of silent enablers. He didn't accuse Diddy of the same crimes directly, but the comparison was unmistakable. When Hollywood's past haunts its present, no one is safe. Pitt said he'd seen a near-identical playbook, where power insulated predators and PR buried victims. He added, "I stayed quiet too long, I recognize that now." The courtroom froze. History doesn't repeat itself, it just changes outfits. Jada Pinkett Smith's name emerges. Then Pitt dropped another shock. Jada Pinkett Smith. He referenced a 2018 private event she hosted in Malibu where he says something wasn't right. No accusations, just a cryptic anecdote about a quiet conversation involving Diddy, 2 agents, and a woman who left in tears. Context changes everything when names start stacking up. Though Jada hasn't responded publicly, courtroom observers noted the immediate reaction. Whispers, stunned expressions, and a flurry of notes passed between prosecution staff. In Hollywood, even vague names cause very real fallout. The NDA pipeline Pitt didn't just talk about people. He mapped out a pattern. He described what he called an NDA pipeline, a system allegedly used by Diddy's camp to suppress stories before they reached the media. Women, assistants, even rival artists were offered cash and contracts. Silence signed and sealed. It wasn't hush money, it was infrastructure. One case involved a rising R&B singer paid $250,000 after backing out of a video shoot. Pitt said, he saw the documents himself, part of a cache shared with him during a failed joint venture. When secrets need contracts, you're not protecting privacy, you're protecting power. The burned backup drive. Then came the part that felt ripped from a thriller script. Brad Pitt testified about a backup hard drive, allegedly containing unreleased footage, contracts, and private messages, handed to him by a former Diddy associate in 2020. But weeks later, The drive was found melted inside a fireproof bag at a storage unit in Encino. You don't burn evidence unless it burns the wrong people. Pitt said he took a photo of the bag and turned it over to the feds. He added, "The timing wasn't random. Someone knew it existed." That statement alone sparked audible gasps in the courtroom. If the fire's that precise, the secret was dangerous. Diddy's legal team strikes back. Just as the courtroom caught its breath, Diddy's lawyers went on the attack. They called Pitt's testimony theatrical hearsay, questioning his motives and timing. Lead counsel argued that Pitt had a history of inserting himself into narratives that don't involve him, hinting at a personal vendetta tied to industry politics. When reputation's on trial, deflection becomes a defense strategy. But Pitt stayed composed, reiterating that he had nothing to gain and that silence is complicity. The judge allowed every word to stand. For now, when the accused fights the messenger, you have to ask, what are they afraid he'll say next? The hidden wiretap. This next twist left even the prosecution stunned. Brad Pitt revealed he'd been contacted by a whistleblower, a former tech consultant, who claimed Diddy's team had been surveilling guests at private events. One of them? A 2019 birthday party in the Hollywood Hills that Pitt himself attended. Privacy isn't private when the walls have ears. The whistleblower reportedly provided audio snippets where voices mentioned cleaning up contracts and keeping Pitt out of the fallout. Prosecutors confirmed. A federal inquiry into potential wiretap violations is now open. When the audio backs the accusation, the story changes format, from rumor to record. Demid video CTA. If you've made it this far, hit that like button if this trial's blowing your mind. And comment below. Do you think Pitt's telling the full truth, or is there more to his story? Your take might just show up in our next video. The celebrity silence. Why hasn't more of Hollywood spoken out? Brad Pitt revealed a near unbreakable code. Careers, friendships, and fortunes built on unspoken loyalty. What insiders call the celebrity silence. Speaking up risks blacklisting, losing endorsements, or worse, personal threats. Pitt admitted he wrestled with this, explaining, "Breaking silence feels like breaking family. Silence isn't just absence of sound, it's a powerful weapon. This culture means stories stay buried even when truth demands daylight. For anyone watching, the lesson is clear. Courage can rewrite history. Silent no more is the new power." The unexpected witness. Just when the trial seemed scripted, an unexpected witness shook the room. A former Diddy bodyguard testified he overheard a heated phone call in 2019, where Diddy said, "Brad's playing a dangerous game." That phrase wasn't just a threat. It was a warning sign of the pressure mounting behind closed doors. When bodyguards turn whistleblowers, trust fractures fast. The guard's testimony painted a picture of intimidation tactics escalating, with security details shadowing Pitt's movements at industry events. This wasn't just legal theater. It was a real power struggle. When fear becomes evidence, every move counts. The financial trail money never lies, but it often hides. Brad Pitt's testimony highlighted suspicious transactions linking Diddy's companies to offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands and the British Virgin Islands. Prosecutors uncovered a web of payments disguised as consulting fees and event expenses. Classic laundering signatures. Financial experts say this pattern screams deliberate obfuscation. Pitt's insight? When cash moves like smoke, it's a signal someone's covering tracks. The federal investigation now includes tracing these flows back to shell corporations with no clear business purpose. Follow the money. It's the clearest clue. The celebrity allies behind every headline battle. There's a web of allies and enemies. Brad Pitt's testimony revealed that several A-list stars quietly support him, some out of loyalty, others out of fear of becoming the next target. Names like Rihanna and Kendrick Lamar were mentioned. Though no public statements have been made, Hollywood alliances shift like quicksand. Today's friend can be tomorrow's rival. Pitt hinted at secret meetings where these allies strategize. Protection and media responses signaling a growing fracture in the celebrity code. In power games, Your circle can be your strongest shield or your biggest vulnerability. The media blackout, despite the courtroom fireworks, major media outlets largely stayed silent. Brad Pitt's explosive testimony barely made headlines on primetime news, overshadowed by other global stories. Industry insiders say powerful media conglomerates with ties to Diddy are influencing coverage, or the lack thereof. Information isn't just power, it's currency traded in shadows. This blackout fuels rumors and drives social media speculation, where unverified claims spread fast but lack accountability. Pitt's testimony shows how controlling the narrative means controlling the truth. In the age of information warfare, silence speaks volumes. The viral social media storm. When traditional media went quiet, social platforms exploded. Brad Pitt's testimony triggered hashtags, memes, and viral clips, dissected by millions worldwide. Fans, critics, and conspiracy theorists alike debated every word, creating a digital frenzy unmatched by previous celebrity trials. In the online world, everyone becomes a judge and jury. Pitt's legal team even monitored trends, adjusting their strategy to ride the wave of public sentiment. The courtroom drama didn't just stay behind closed doors. It spilled into timelines and comment sections. In modern trials, viral buzz can make or break reputations. Eerie the unexpected turn. Just when everyone thought the story had peaked, a new document surfaced, an internal email chain implicating Diddy's top aides in a cover-up plan. Brad Pitt described the moment he first saw the emails. It was like watching a sinking ship's captain order the lifeboats to disappear. The emails detailed efforts to silence witnesses and delete digital evidence. Cover-ups only deepened suspicion. Legal experts say this could pivot the trial dramatically, potentially exposing not just one man but an entire network of complicity. In high-stakes drama, hidden emails can rewrite the script. The juries struggle behind the scenes. The jury wrestles with the weight of the evidence. Jurors reportedly told court officials about the emotional toll, balancing Brad Pitt's heartfelt testimony against the detailed defense rebuttals. Some admit confusion, others express doubt. Justice isn't black and white, it's shades of gray in a spotlight. Legal analysts suggest this ambivalence reflects the trial's complexity, where truth is filtered through perception and persuasion. Anyone watching, the takeaway is simple. Every verdict is human, not perfect. The trial's future. Impact Brad Pitt's testimony isn't just a moment, it's a movement. Experts say this case could redefine how Hollywood handles power, privacy, and accountability, setting precedents far beyond the courtroom walls. The ripple effect may influence contracts, celebrity culture, and even legislation. Change rarely comes easy, but it's inevitable when silence breaks. For viewers, the challenge is clear. Stay informed, demand transparency, and never underestimate the power of speaking out. This trial could be the tipping point for a new era in celebrity justice.